is loose.
I'm gonna make you so happy.
We're going to my island for a few days.
Do you guys want to come?
This is crazy.
Hello and thanks for joining us for our first film show of the new season, and we're kicking off at one of cinema's most prestigious events, the Venice Film Festival. It starts this Wednesday with the world premiere of Tim Burton's Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, a sequel that's been nearly 35 years in the making. And our film critic Emma Jones is at the festival. Emma, what's there to look forward to?
Hello there. Well, of course it is Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, and I don't want to say his name too many times because, of course, if you're a fan, you know what could happen. But it promises to be a great world premiere at the opening night of the Venice Film Festival. Can already see a few people braving the heat, ready for tonight's action. It is quite a momentous occasion because, of course, the first film appeared in 1988, and this movie reunites director Tim Burton with some of the previous cast, including Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder and Catherine O'Hara. And some of the new additions to the cast also include Monica Bellucci. This being the world premiere, of course, a lot of the details are still under wraps, but we do know a few things about the movie. We know, for example, that Michael Keaton had said that he didn't want to be in the movie any more times than he was in the first. And in the first he was only there for a grand total of 17 minutes, apparently. And we also know how the new movie starts, when Winona Ryder's character Lydia, her teenage daughter, accidentally opens a portal, as you do.
Oh, I can't wait for it. Let's take a look then at the new Beetlejuice, which is opening the Venice Film Festival.
The living, the dead, can they coexist? That's what we're here to find out. Where's Beetlejuice?
Where's Beetlejuice?
It was really fun. Admittedly, you know, I was nervous. You don't want to screw it up, and you don't want to be the one guy who screws it up. So I was a little nervous, but once, it didn't take long for all of us. And also, I had the advantage of Tim really clearly knew what he was going to do.
So Beetlejuice will be in cinemas in September. Emma, what other big films will premiere at Venice this year?
Well, this really is a time for Hollywood to launch their films on the new season, and one of the most hotly anticipated has to be Maria by Chilean director Pablo Larrain. Now, this stars Angelina Jolie as opera singer Maria Callas, and it's Angelina Jolie's first leading role in quite some time. And this, of course, is part of a trilogy of films where Larrain is exploring the lives of famous 20th century women. The other films include Jackie and Spencer, of course. Then there's Queer by Italian director Luca Guadagnino, and this is an English language film again for him, and it's an adaptation of the William S. Burroughs novel. Now, a lot of anticipation for this also because Daniel Craig is in the leading role as Lee, so there's a lot of speculation about what his performance might be like. And then there's Joker, Folie à Deux. So we'll be welcoming Joaquin Phoenix back to the Venice Lido. He launched the first Joker here a few years ago. He's reunited with director Todd Phillips, and this time around, Lady Gaga is going to be there too.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see this one. Here's a taster of the new Joker movie.
I got this sneaking suspicion that we're not giving the people what they want.
It's okay, baby. Let's give the people what they want.
Well, the Mostra is not just a Hollywood film festival. So many films from all over the world are showing there. And there's a good few from France, including a couple in competition, Emma.
Yeah, it's a big year for France in competition, actually. There's a few films, notably the first one is Le Enfant après eux, and that's their children after them, and that's by a French brother. They're twins, actually, the Bukermer brothers. They're directing that film, and that is set in northeastern France in the 1990s. It's a coming-of-age tale, I believe, and it's also an adaptation of a book by Nicolas Mathieu. And then there's another film called Trois Amis, or Three Friends, and that's directed by actor and filmmaker Emmanuel Mouret and starring Camille Cotin, and that's supposed to be the interconnected lives of three female friends. Another film I'm quite excited to see is a film called The Quiet Son, and this is by a pair of French filmmaking sisters, Delphine and Muriel Coulin, and The Quiet Son stars Vincent Lindon and Benjamin Voisin, and that's the story of a young man who gets involved in far-right politics, much to the distress of his father.
And Emma, the director Claude Lelouch is also expected there.
Oh. Yes, finalement, actually, finally, that is the film that he'll be showing here. And that's, you know, it's part of his showcase because he's actually turning up for a very prestigious cinema award, which is the Glory to the Filmmaker Award that Venice gives every year.
Well, the Venice Film Festival opens this week. It goes on until the 7th of September. A quick word on another film festival taking place in the French city of Angoulême, which focuses on movies in the French language. At the opening ceremony, tributes were paid to the actor Alain Delon, who died in August, and British actress Kristen Scott-Thomas, who we know best for The English Patient and Mission Impossible, is the head of this year's jury. Around 20 French films will premiere there over the next few days. So let's turn now to the French film release of the week. It's a movie that debuted at this year's Cannes. It's called Visiting Hours by Patricia Mazuy and stars Isabelle Huppert, who's the head of the jury in Venice this year, as well as Hafsia Herzi. Let's take a look.
Et si tu me tutoyais, ça m'aiderait. Je vous présente Mina, une vieille copine. Elle a loupé son train, alors je l'ai dépannée. C'est épuisant de mentir. C'est trop de travail.
Comment ça?
Quand les gens savent que ton mari est en prison, ils n'osent pas te demander ce qu'il a fait. Je leur dis, mais demandez-moi ce qu'il a fait. Demandez-moi, mais demandez-moi ce qu'il a fait. Et toi, qu'est-ce qu'il a fait?
Bijouterie.
Il a fait bijoutier.
Ah bah j'aurais préféré.
That's from the trailer for Visiting Hours. Tell us more about the film, Emma.
Yeah, this is interesting because it's the second time these two actresses have worked together in the last year. The first time was Les gens d'à côté by French veteran filmmaker André Téchiné. Now, this film gives Herzi considerably more screen time, and I'd say it's an equal sharing between both actors. And what they've really got, this pair, is a wonderful on-screen chemistry. It's a real pleasure to watch them. It's a really interesting film because Huppert plays Alma. She's a rich and quite lonely woman, and she befriends Mina, who's a laundry cleaner. And they meet because their husbands are both in jail in Bordeaux. Now, Alma takes Mina under her wing. She puts her up in her house along with her two young children. She finds her a job. And the question that you're asking all the way through the film is really, is this a very unlikely friendship? Is it genuine? Or are they both getting something quite transactional out of this relationship?
OK, well, let's take a listen to the actress Hafsia Herzi talking about the relationship.
It's
true, they're very different. Because of their age, they're two very different generations as well. At the same time, they're both lonely. My character is less alone as she has children, and her husband, we feel that there's still love there. But for her, she's alone in a big house, alone as her marriage is not going that well. So what brings them together is this prison in which they find themselves. Even if they're not actually behind bars, they are prisoners of their daily life.
Well, it sounds intriguing. Emma, is it worth watching?
Yes, definitely. The one thing I'd say, it seems like a very interesting social film, and then about halfway through, quite a clunky heist genre arrives in the film. But you know, the strength of the performances just about pull the plot off, and really worth watching from that point of view. Also some really interesting social commentary. Alma's husband, who's a rich neurologist, is in prison for 6 years after killing somebody when he was out driving, whereas Mina's husband has received a much longer sentence for a lesser crime. So some really interesting things to reflect on there.
OK, well, another film out in France, Blink Twice, is the directorial debut of actor Zoe Kravitz, and it has been making some waves, hasn't it?
It really has. It is a very, very stylish directing debut from her. And I mean, the word of mouth is it's quite audacious in the sense it's like Jordan Peele's Get Out. It generated that kind of buzz. It's a film that stars Naomi Ackie and also Channing Tatum, who is actually Kravitz's real-life fiancé. And it's a billionaire meets waitress story. And he invites her and a friend to his private island when things take a very sinister turn, because that island is being used by rich men to lure young women there and effectively wipe their memories.
OK, well, here's the actor Channing Tatum talking about working with his fiancée Zoe Kravitz on the movie.
Our comfort zone in our relationship is creating and being creative and talking about movies. That's all we really do is watch movies. And so that part was like just super simple and super easy. You know, relationships are hard. Making movies, apparently for us, is not as hard as that.
We'll leave you then with a look at Channing Tatum in the movie Blink Twice. Emma Jones, enjoy the Venice Film Festival, and we'll see you next week for your take on some of the films being shown. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Check out all our arts and entertainment news online and on our social networks, and we'll see you next time.
Where's Jess?
Who's Jess?
My friend that was in the room next to mine. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! I feel like we're forgetting like a lot of stuff. Okay, but like, how? Something's making us forget.
Uh-oh.
We need to know what's really going on.